Also tonight, the Oilers are in Ottawa. The big two, McDavid and Draisaitl, had 7 points each in sweeping a pair of games from the Sens last week in Edmonton. But if there's a silver lining for Ottawa, maybe, just maybe, they'll still be a bit tired after how they finished Saturday's loss to Calgary. Ryan Rishaug has that story.
McDavid's shift actually began with 5:54 on the clock, 9 seconds more than the stats showed. The Oilers down a pair of goals. McDavid began the shift with a solid hit behind the net. The first phase lasted about 1:20 and included this little gem from McDavid, throwing the puck through his own legs. The sequence finished with him driving hard to the net, drawing a penalty. The pair then had a full commercial break to rest up for the upcoming power play. Now, it's normal for the two guys to stay on the ice for the entire man advantage, which they did. No sign of fatigue, Draisaitl diving after a loose puck. The best scoring chance came off the stick of a fresh and rested Jesse Puljujarvi. Dave Tippett called a timeout after 1:23, giving the pair a chance to catch their breath and pull Mikko Koskinen for the two-man advantage. The power play had a few good looks, but failed to convert. McDavid and Draisaitl then stayed out on the ice for the final 2 minutes and 28 seconds of the game. The entire thing lasted 11 minutes in real time, meaning they did get roughly 5 minutes of rest spread throughout. Draisaitl went 4 for 4 in the face-off circle, completed 14 of 17 passes, had 2 missed shots, and a tip just wide. While McDavid had just a single shot, but incredibly completed all 15 of the passes he attempted.
It's incredible, isn't it? I mean, Draisaitl can have guys right on top of him, and he still makes plays to open guys. So that's, you just, as a coach, you look at it and you try to manage your assets as best you can, and those are nice assets to have in that situation.
How much of a challenge is it, Leon, to play 5 minutes and 45 seconds consecutively, because we almost never see it? How did you feel?
I didn't even notice, to be honest with you. Yeah, you don't want to do that every game.
We only played 71 games last year, and Draisaitl still had 110 points. Now he's on pace for 99. McDavid's on pace for 112. Do you think one or both of them can actually keep up this pace and hit the century mark in a season that only has 56 games?
I do, and it's be incredibly impressive. There's no doubt about that. But look, I think so much of this hinges on the team that they're facing tonight in the Ottawa Senators. It's two factors actually could allow them to get to 100 points. And that would be both that the North Division is incredibly high scoring and the fact that the Oilers face the Sens 7 more times this season, including tonight's game. If McDavid averages about 3 points a game against the Ottawa Senators, which is entirely possible, he's got 7 in his first 2 games against them, well then that would leave him to score just about his career average, a little under 1.5 points per game against everyone else. That would get him to that century mark. So you look back on the last 2 shortened seasons, 2012-13, the league leader, Marty St. Louis, 60 points. You look back to 94-95, Eric Lindros and Jaromir Jagr tied at 70. That'd be incredible to get to the century mark in a shortened campaign, especially when he didn't get there last year, 97 points in 61 games.
Who could put anything past him, though? This is McDavid and Draisaitl we're talking about. All right, Jeff, the Sens looked pretty good in splitting their last 2 games with the Habs, and Tim Stützle had 3 points, but he took a beating, my friend. Are the Sens doing enough to protect this kid?
Well, Gino, when you're that good, it's the going rate in the National Hockey League. You're going to get a lot of attention. Just ask Connor McDavid. So when you're that speedy and you're that dynamic, you're going to get attention. And sure, Goodbranson and Austin Watson, they're going to get into some fights to protect that guy. But what he's got to do, he's got to know how to brace himself and take that impact. Get your elbows up. Relax your body when you get against the boards, because when you tense up, you're going to take a beating and you're going to get injured. But as far as himself, it's the big leagues, man. And you got to go out there and you got to figure out how to navigate yourself away around the ice without getting really hurt. You saw like a young player like Taylor Hall. He was so fast when he came in the league. He was putting himself into spots as a young player where he was getting really hurt from big hits. So as soon as Stützle figures that out, he'll be better off.
Yeah, but it'd be nice if some of those guys stepped up and helped him up a little bit.